All right, we are live. Hi. So I have two computers, as always. I have two screens. So let me just, all right, adjust everything. So hi, my name is Francine. Bonjour-Carter. And I'm here today to guide you through a grounding practice. We are Wednesday, and I'm offering 15 minutes of grounding, centering practice every Wednesday and every Saturday. And I will just talk a little bit so people can join, and I leave everybody some time to come here. I have two screens, one here for people who are following on Facebook and one here for people who are following on Zoom. And so, as I said in the introduction video I made a few weeks ago, last week, I feel that in these times we are living, with everything that's going on around us, we need some time to be centered, to connect to our body, and to feel grounded, and to find that kind of inner space where we are just us, who we are, and we can connect to a sense of safety and a sense of calm. So that's why I decided to do this grounding practice twice a week for 15 minutes. I need it, first of all, so I assume I'm not the only one, and I hope you will find some tools to bring this centering and this grounding into your daily life through what we'll do here. So it's officially noon now, so let's start. If you have any question or comment, I will not read and answer the comments here while we are here together, because I really want to keep this 15 minutes for our practice. 15 minutes is not a long time. So I want to focus on guiding you through this practice and not answering or reading comments. But I'm really open to receive any comments and feedback, so you can contact me through my Facebook page or through my website. It's francinebonjour.com, and you can ask me any question or leave your comments there. So let's start. I assume you're sitting, but you may be standing up, and that will work in both ways. During this practice, you don't need to see me, actually. I will not show you anything. I will just guide you with my voice. And you can have your eyes open or your eyes closed, except if I say otherwise, specifically for what we'll be doing. But feel free to turn just the audio if the video is disturbing for you, or look somewhere else if that keeps you more in focus. So come here at the edge of your chair if you are sitting. So you have a little more space around your pelvis, and especially more space for your hip joints. And if you are standing, just stand normally. And start by sensing the contact of your sit bones with the chair. And if you are standing, sense the contact of the soles of your feet with the floor. And maybe you feel more weight on one side than on the other. That's totally fine. Sense your feet on the floor, whether you're sitting or standing. And sense or bring the picture of your spine from the very bottom, which is the root of your spine is inside your pelvis, your coccyx, tailbone, your sacrum area. And sense it or follow it in your mind's eyes, slowly all the way. So pay attention to this place in your pelvis where your spine starts, and then your lower back area, and you have a curve there. And then sense it in the middle of your back, in between your shoulder blades, in your upper back. And trace like that your spine in your sensation in your mind's eye, all the way up to your upper back and your neck, to where it is at the very base of your skull. And sense how your head rests on your spine. And turn your head a little bit to the right. And when I say a little bit, I'm talking about maximum an inch, maybe half an inch, just a little bit. So you know you're doing it, and maybe somebody who will see you would not really think you're moving, but you can sense that you're turning your head to the right. And do that a few times. So you turn your head slowly to your right, and then you come back to what we'll call the neutral place. And then you turn your head a little bit to the left. And you come back to the neutral place, and you do that a few times. And sense the difference. Is there a difference between turning your head to the right and turning your head to the left? And go slowly so you don't miss any information or any sensation. That's why we're here. We are here to know more about ourselves, to know more about our body and what's going on when we move. And when we start exploring what I call our inner landscape. So if you go fast, you miss all the good stuff. You miss all the information and all the sensation. So take your time and go slowly. And what are your eyes doing when you do that? Do your eyes go to the left or to the right as well? Or do you keep your eyes in the middle, in the neutral place? And again, you don't have to see me. You don't have to look at the screen. I'm not showing anything. I'm not modeling any exercise. So feel free to be free. All right, and come back to the middle, to the neutral place. And now bring your right shoulder a little bit forward and bring it back. And again, we go slowly. We really want to be curious about what is that movement? What does it do? So your right shoulder comes forward and then comes back to the neutral place. Can you connect it to the left shoulder, to your left shoulder? Can you have a sense that if something goes forward, something goes backward? In this situation, it's your shoulders. So your right shoulder goes forward and your left shoulder goes backward. And maybe if you do the movement thinking about your left shoulder going backward, it's easier. Try to change the focus, the intention of what you're doing. Like, okay, you want to move your right shoulder forward and then you come back. And you sense that your left shoulder is going backward towards your back. And now you do it by really moving your left shoulder backward. And as a consequence, your right shoulder goes forward. Do that a few times. Again, take your time and really listen. Listen to what's going on inside of you. And stop that for a minute and just sit on your chair. And now we'll do the same movement with our shoulder, and at the same time, we'll turn our head to the left. So your right shoulder moves forward, your left shoulder goes backward, and you look toward the left. So your whole upper body goes in the same direction. And there's nothing else that needs to be done with your abdomen, so you can relax your abdomen muscle. You can leave some space in between your upper teeth and your lower teeth, so it's a little easier in your jaw and neck. Your hands can rest on your thighs. Your hands can rest on your lap. You just move a little bit to the left like that with your eyes, your head, your shoulders, your upper body. And notice what is the trajectory of your eyes. If you would draw a line from the neutral position towards your left, is it a straight line? Does the line goes down a little bit toward the end? Or does it goes up toward the end of it? And just notice. It's a very interesting information. And come back to the middle, to our neutral place, and just take a few breaths. Normal breath, there's nothing unnatural needed. And notice how you sit on the chair or how you stand if you're standing. And this time keep your head in the middle in this neutral place and look in the neutral place. And move your shoulders only toward the left. So your right shoulder goes forward and your left shoulder goes backward. It's really two ends of like a stick or like a line that are moving together. And your head stays in the neutral position. Again, don't go far. Really move only to where you feel, oh, that's nothing. That's really easy. There's no pull, no stretch, no strain, no push. You just sense through the middle. You move through the middle to where it's easy and spacious. And now move your eyes with your shoulders, but your head stays in the middle, but your eyes go to the left as your right shoulder moves forward and your left shoulder moves backward. And I will repeat that. So your eyes is in the neutral place, looking in the direction in front of you. You move your right shoulder forward, your left shoulder backward, and you look toward the left at the same time. And again, we are doing really small movements. And these movements are made for you to connect to yourself in a different way, to see what are your patterns and how you take new information, and hopefully give you tools to find easiness and find more calm in moving and inside yourself. And every time you do the movement and then you come back. And you do the movement again, and then you come back. Good. And pause. And feel yourself on your chair. So we just moved toward our left, and now we'll move toward our right. But before we start, I'd like to suggest or to ask you that you will do it as if it was the first movement we're doing. So there's no preconceived idea and there's no judgment about what it should be and what it should feel. So you move your left shoulder forward and your right shoulder backward. And again, you go really slowly and you don't need to do a big movement at all because you really want to listen. And chances are that it doesn't feel the same than on the other side. And it's totally normal, it's totally okay. We like to think of ourselves as symmetrical beings, which we are in a way because we have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, etc. But we really don't do the same actions with our right side than our left side. And that's what you might feel right now as you're moving your left shoulder forward and your right shoulder backward, and you can move your head with it. So you move your head to the right a little bit and you look to the right a little bit. And again, sense how everything can move together. There's a really simple flow and simple synchronicity there. Everything goes together to the right. And now keep your head in the middle and move your shoulders only to the right. So that means your left shoulder goes forward and your right shoulder goes backward. And your head stays in the middle with your eyes. And that might limit your movement a little bit, so the movement is really small. And every time you come back, oh my gosh, there's a beautiful hug right in front of my window. Hey. And come back to the middle. Come back to the neutral place. And now I'd like you to imagine that you have an eye on your sternum. Your sternum is your breastbone here, where all your ribs attach on each side, and then they go to your spine. And I love this bone, and I think it's a pity because I call it the forgotten bone because nobody thinks of their sternum. So here, let's focus on it. And I'd like you to do the same movement as we did, thinking that you have an eye in the middle of your sternum and you're looking towards your left, just to where it's easy. Again, there's no pulling, there's no pushing. It's to where it's comfortable, where you feel that you are in a space where things are easy and flowy. You're not here to make yourself suffer at all. I'm not here for that, so I don't want you to be here for that. It's not the place. You look toward the left with this beautiful eye you have on your sternum. And then you come back and your head goes to the left as well, and your eyes, and you still feel your shoulders. The right one goes forward, the left one goes backward. But you move now from a more central place, and there's a lot of movement possible here. We won't explore all of it today because our time is limited, but there's a lot. And now you pause just for a few seconds, and you go to the other side. You go to the right. And the same, you look towards the right with your beautiful eye open here in the middle of your sternum. And now just go from one side to the other and sense that your contact with the chair is changing a little bit. You go to the right and toward the left and come back to the middle. And just sit there. And we are at the end of our time. And I will invite you to just sit inside of you. And sense how you are on the chair and sense the space you have here in your upper chest and the space for mobility and for freedom. And if you want to stand up and walk around, you're welcome to do that. And I hope you enjoyed this little grounding session. I sure do. I hope you will join again. I will be here every Wednesday and every Saturday at the same time. You have all the information on my website, francinebonjour.com. And on my Facebook page, you can redo these practices because they will be posted there. And again, I welcome your comments or your feedback. Thank you. Bye-bye.